So there was a lot to unpack in that 9 minutes that we just showed. So what we want to do right now is kind of just slow it down a little bit.
Yep.
Show you the kind of the core abilities, some of the upgrades. But just caveating, we're doing this in a little bit of a hacky way, kind of giving you a peek behind the curtains. So Perry's going to spawn a couple enemies, show off some of these abilities, and we'll just kind of give you a peek of what they do. And then we'll run out to an outpost and kind of put it all together.
Really? Starting with weapons or abilities?
So we can just do kind of the simple, we'll do the simple abilities first, just to sort of show them off just in this form. So I'll spawn this guy in, just get his attention.
Yeah,
and
just to be clear, you can't usually spawn enemies in the game.
No,
yeah,
you bring in a little bit.
For the purposes of
have
this.
some fun.
So obviously we have stuff like the slam that will just, completely obliterate him.
It's like Fruit Punch just popped out of it.
And as Tim mentioned, like the higher you are, the more damage you do.
Yeah, so I'll go up here and do something like this, bring him a little higher, just wake him up a little bit. Hey, I'm over here. Let's get a little higher, and the higher you go, like Carlos said, the more damage you do. So if there's more enemies, you want to go higher. That way you can get more of them. And then, let's see, I can show off the one that's very fun to use that you can split them apart with, is Shatter. That'll also send them over the cliff. And then what else do we have we want to show? I guess we'll do Vortex.
Yeah,
Vortex is cool because that'll kind of bring them up like that. You can do all kinds of stuff with them there. You shoot him, it'll give him a little boost and also send him over the cliff.
What is your deal with
And
this
another
sending
ability
people over
that
cliffs?
comes in handy is the dash as well. So let's say you have somebody shooting an RPG at you. You can get out of the way of it and just kind of watch it go by. Or another good example of an ability is the barrier. That'll protect you from a lot of stuff.
Nice.
And then you can hover over it like that and take them out that way.
Yeah, so you basically can double jump and hover in the air, right?
Yeah, you just floated.
Yeah, so if you double jump and then ADS, aim down your sight, then you hover. So that's another ability. So there's all kinds of stuff. So that's sort of them one by one, right? So we want to see some, I guess, combos at this point?
Yes, sir.
So going higher, obviously I can go up on things like this, but if you throw the Vortex grenade down, then do a double jump, then get up, you go even higher and do stuff like that. So if we want to spawn in a couple enemies, wake them up a bit, you can, oh hey, there's a vendor here, good timing. Throw this down to stop, and then throw that, and then get over it, and take them out that way.
Vortex Shatter. Can you try that one out?
Huh?
Vortex Shatter.
Vortex Shatter, that's a good one. Wait for my Vortex to come back. There it is. So that's fun. And then what are the other combos we like to show? All kinds of stuff.
We can do the slide dash shatter.
Yep.
That's a good one.
I
So
fully
let's get
expect
in.
all the people who are getting ready to play the game to be able to do all of these
We wanna
when
see
it's your
this.
turn to hop
Yeah.
in. And if I
So we
don't
just do
see that,
that.
I'll be so disappointed.
And then
I
go
see
on.
you. I'm looking
His
right
legs.
at you.
That was only the lower half of his body. The top half just got disintegrated. So there's all kinds of stuff you can do with combos, and you get creative. Should we maybe show some of the weapons?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
So we can go one by one here, I guess, with this. So the AR is pretty self-explanatory. That's pretty versatile. It's fun to use. Then we have the shotgun, which, we're all familiar with shotguns. But when you ADS, well, just throw them off the cliff. But when you ADS, it kind of gives you this this different alternate fire mode that's sort of like an air cannon that sends them off cliffs as well. I love throwing things off cliffs in this game. It's my favorite thing to do.
This is funny, the vendor thinks you want to shop.
Yeah.
This is cracking me up.
And then we have rocket launcher, of course. Always fun to use. You can do some really great combos with that.
The Vortex rocket launcher.
Yeah, well, actually, we'll do. Why don't we combine the Vortex with the Grav Dart launcher and the rocket launcher? So another good one to do is get somebody in here, and then you fill them up with these gravity pelts. Then you hit them with a Vortex. Then you send them in the air. That split him up. I think he hit something on the way.
Do it again. Do it again.
We're going to do it again because this gets really cool. So we'll skip the vortex this time. Just go straight to the gravity dart. Send him in the air. Why is he's blowing up immediately? I don't know what he's hitting.
You're just too powerful.
He
I don't know what's going on.
There he goes.
Then if you get him high enough, you can track him. We're going to get one. Let me do another one. Let's send him straight up. This gun is too fun to use.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Nice.
Just extreme overkill, but that's kind
All
of
right,
what
hey,
this game is all about.
Can you hit him with the wing stick? Can you hit him with the wing stick in the air?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. We'll see how your wing stick skill is.
So we'll bring in, let's
Yeah, so
do
Tim,
a shroud at this
for all the
time.
Rage 1 fans, the Wingstick is back. Do you want to talk about kind of the upgrades? And
Yeah, so, the wing stick is a signature weapon from the original. And, one of the things you can do...
He's hitting the tree. That's
He's hitting the tree branch. It has a full upgrade path, just like your weapons and your abilities. So we have, lock on, we have explodable, we have multiple targets, we have the grind, which is my favorite, which is stuck into somebody.
I missed.
You
Come back.
Oh no! All right,
missed.
All right, the third time's a charm. And then my favorite is when it gets stuck in people, grinds them up, and then explodes.
Which is horrifying, Tim. Horrifying.
Whose idea was that?
I want to say it's Tim's.
No, it
I want
wasn't
to say
mine.
it's Tim's because it's awful. It's so
There we
gory. I
go.
love it so much.
Good job, Perry.
This whole game is so. We were talking about it yesterday. It's so brutal in the most wonderful way.
Yes, we really, wanted to. It's so over the top in some of the combat, and it's kind of fun, but it's all in context. But it's an enjoyable orchestra of destruction.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was messing around with the game the other day, trying to grab gifts from it, and I was slowing down between screens, and there was one where a person's brain just kind of pops out of their head. That was fun. I just froze on that screen for a second. I was like, oh, that's a realistic looking brain.
That's funny.
So the wing
we're
stick
showing,
also has a couple things you can do with it. Well, actually, you can hit those back to him as well.
Yeah, someone just asked if you were actually like hitting the grenade back. So
Yes,
you are.
You can just hit him right back to him and blow him up, just like a lot of other things in the
I
game.
think that's an upgrade, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then also is some of the bandits can catch your grenades, or they'll catch a vortex grenade, which they're like, oh, whoops, and then they pick off flying, which is pretty funny.
Now I'm on a wing stick.
Yeah, like that. See, he actually tried to bat away the vortex grenade, but it stuck to his bat. I mean, there is a lot of subtlety and a lot of AI that most people actually miss. So, I really encourage players to kind of focus on what the enemy is doing, and you'll see that they really are reacting to what you're using, where you are, and how they're working together. It's very complex. It's more than just brains flying out. So this is a firestorm pistol.
I
So
love
you
the snap.
you hit enemies with the kind of a charge round, and then you snap it to make them explode.
And
He
then they're
just turned into
bones.
a charred skeleton.
Yep, just bones.
Again, Tim.
That's fun. It is fun.
All in the name of fun.
What's tough is the arc where this pistol is located is guarded by the Riverhawks and that redneck mech. So to
I
get
love
this
the mechs.
weapon, you got to go through a fight, which is pretty cool.
Most of the arcs, there's a fight that you're gonna have to basically.
You're gonna have to,
clear out some bad guys first.
So one of the things that I always encourage players to do is don't rush through like the story. Spend some time, find the arcs, talk to people in the towns, learn about the world, get some lore, and have fun. And the game is, I enjoy the game most when I'm just doing dynamic things in the world. That's really where it shines.
Yeah, I mean, all of the arcs, to your point, they're all in very interesting places. They are all always an interesting fight. You either have cyber crushers guarding them, or the redneck mechs, or I love exploring and finding the arcs. And it's kind of like you make it a job. They're not just dropped immediately on the map. You kind of like, okay, you're hunting down intel, and you find a data pad that may have the location of an Ark, and I think that stuff makes it fun, the fight and the hunt.
Yeah, so in Overdrive, you can see that just taking these enemies down is so much easier and more satisfying because, I mean, you're so much more powerful. Floating in the air.
So do we want to kind of put it all together and go see it live in action?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of times the enemies will hide out at different outposts, and you basically can go there and clear them out. So now that we've seen all of the weapons and abilities kind of put together, we'll take the Icarus and just go over to one of them.
That was awesome.
Hey, it's a very dynamic open world.
This world is alive.
That's what I get for playing in the street.
That is too funny.
There are many things that want to
man.
kill you.
So, Perry, one
Yeah.
of my favorite ability upgrades has been, we haven't really been able to show it in trailers because without context, it can be tough to know exactly what you're seeing, but that's the rush upgrade
Oh, yeah.
that lets you go invisible. Can we see
right.
that one?
Yeah, we can. I should have that one. So it's cool, too, because you can combo that one as well. So there's sprinting, obviously, but then there's also sort of double speed, and then you go sort of invisible. But you can also combine that as well, so when you see enemies end of a lane, and then you want to pop it after it recharges here, you can then hit them with the shatter, and then that's... Oh, there's more... I gotta stay out of the street.
You're playing in the street, man.
Stop
I gotta
parking
stay
your
over here in
stuff
the I gotta stay in the yard. I should have learned that when I was a kid.
Even the pros sometimes get crushed by cars.
So
I
where was
just
I
love
going?
that upgrade. It's perfect for getting into
Oh, yeah.
combat. It's perfect for getting out of combat.
What did you do?
Did your mother teach you not to play in the street?
Let me get another one in and fly back to where we're going. This time, let's stay above the vehicles. And we'll
Oh,
go through
don't.
here
It
a
was
little bit.
funny.
Go to, I guess, where were we going? We were going to that,
Drop Dead Canyon.
yeah, that's it, Drop Dead. And I think it's this way. It's where we were. So we'll go back that way. Out of the jungle, which is one of the coolest places to fight. A lot of really cool areas in there.
So we've shown obviously a lot of stuff outdoors, but someone wanted to know from Rage 1 there were some sewers. Can you actually go to sewers in this game as well?
Yeah. One of the early.
Yes, sewers! Yes, sewers!
No, stop.
I think that's
fun.
I
The
mean,
one of our early missions
they're
that
great.
Marshall has will actually send you down to some mutants in the sewers. But no, they're fine.
No, it's cool. It is.
It is
cool.
Where else are you going to find all of the Abaddon mutants?
Yes.
Yes.
And there are so many of them in the sewers.
They're terrifying.
They're really scary.
Yes.
Because they move so fast.
Yeah, and we have unique kind of attacks, and they have some different AI that people had not seen from the original. So it really kind of adds this dynamic play.
They climb up, they jump off of walls at you.
Yes.
They drop from the ceiling.
And of course,
Super
Mutant
fun.
Bash TV.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's back.
Yes.
That's back in a big way.
Yeah, things ain't final stations. Go in prepared.
It has a new host, though, and she's very odd.
She is an interesting
She's
character.
very odd.
Yes, we had a lot of fun when we created these characters.
Part of me wants to say, you know what, I would like to be Desdemonia when I grow up. And then I see her drinking blood, and I'm like, less so. Less so.
Maybe not for you.
Maybe not quite.
So Perry found our outpost.
Yes.
And
Made my way back there after playing in the street.
Perry, no. Just trying to pee. Come on.
so the faster that you take down your enemies, you can see Perry's overdrive meter there. He's got 6x. The faster you take your enemies down, especially when you're in overdrive, the faster your overdrive meter will charge, and it gets you into this fast loop cycle, which kind of gets you into the action. Because this is a big world, as you can see, but everything we do with the weapons and the abilities gets you into the action, up close and personal. It's very, very id Software style combat.
I do love the grab dart launcher. It's just such a...
It's very satisfying.
As I mentioned earlier, I'm a big utility player, and there are so many uses for that. You can attach it to an explosive barrel and send that into a crowd of people. You can attach people to, windmills like we saw in the Wasteland superhero. Like,
it's so true.
there are so many weird things that you can do with that gun that just make this game so fun.
So Perry's using the pulse cannon right now, and this thing just will tear through your enemies, but you have to meter it for the heat. So you can see that bar right there. So there's kind of a sweet spot between overheating it and then getting the maximum damage out of it. So you have to kind of pay attention. You can't just tear through your enemies.
And there's definitely bigger enemy types like that guy right there.
I mean, he's just
gone.
bones now, though, so...
Yeah, the Goon Squad is totally reckless.
Look at that 10x max. So Perry has maxed out his boost on the overdrive. That's how good he is. And of course, one of the arc chests, very important. And he'll probably get like auto parts, which is cool.
Could use that to upgrade the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yes. And one of the cool things about the interface is you can go to your garage anywhere in the world. So you don't have to drive back to town to upgrade your Phoenix. If you find some parts here, you can upgrade your Phoenix wherever you want.
That's awesome. Nicely done.
Good job.
Thank
Very
you. Good
nice,
job, Perry.
And one of the things that you saw there at the very end, you saw Captain Marshall's profile. So different activities in around the wasteland contribute to different characters' kind of progression. So when you're moving through the story, based on who you're working for and based on what you're doing, you'll kind of progress those stories, and they'll feed you more information as you play through. So that was a Captain Marshall area.
Yep. Very cool. Nicely done.
Yeah.
Thanks.